Dear student, I am starting your lecture number 13 on a operational amplifier. In a last lecture, we have seen inverting amplifier and numerical for the inverting amplifier. We have also discussed differential amplifier, and property of the differential amplifier is very important. For a differential amplifier, VO output voltage is proportional to difference of the input signal. But we have seen in practice it is not like so. Output does not depend only on the difference of the input signal, but also it depends upon the common mode signal, and due to common mode signal error is introduced in the output, and to reduce the error, one parameter of the op-amp we have discussed. That parameter is called common mode rejection ratio, CMRR. With the help of the CMRR, you can reduce the error at the output. To reduce the error of the output, value of the CMRR should be very high. If the value of the CMRR is very high, then you can reduce the error. Error will be reduced. Error is produced due to common mode signals. We will see some numerical. We show that due to common mode signal, error is introduced at the output. And we will also discuss if the CMRR is large, then percentage of the error at the output is very low. Let us see such numerical. Common mode rejection. When CMRR expressed in a decimal, then it is called common mode rejection. Common mode rejection. It is written as CMR. So I can write 20 log AD by AC, or I can write 20 log AD minus 20 log AC. This is only for numerical I am discussing. Suppose someone want to measure the CMRR, so you can measure by this. To measure CMRR, first keep V1 is equal to 0.5 and V2 is equal to minus 0.5. So your differential voltage V1 minus V2, it is 1 volt, and your common mode voltage is V1 plus V2 by 2. So it is your 0 volt. Means output is due to only VD. So what I want to say, keep input voltage 0.5 V1, V2 minus 0.5, and measure the output. And this output is due to only this, not due to common mode signal. As a result, your differential gain is VO by VD. So you can measure your differential gain by measuring output voltage and keeping V1 is 0.5 and V2 is minus 0.5. So first you find differential gain. Now second. Now keep V1 is equal to 1 volt and V2 is equal to 1 volt. So differential voltage is 0 and common mode gain is V1 plus V2 by 2, means 1 volt. So you will get output due to only common mode signal, not due to differential signal. So you measure your output. So VO is due to only common mode signal. Find common mode gain, output upon common mode signal. So what is CMRR? CMRR is AD by AC. So in this way you can find the CMRR of the op-amp. Listen again. I want to find the CMRR of the op-amp. So what I did? I keep the input voltage 0.5, V1, V2 is minus 0.5. So differential voltage is 1 volt, common mode is 0. So by giving this voltage, I am measuring the output voltage, and this output voltage is due to only VD. So I will get differential gain only, output upon differential input. So this is differential gain is obtained. Keep V1 is 1 volt, keep V2 is 1 volt. So differential voltage is 0, common mode is 1 volt, and measure the output voltage. This output voltage is due to only common mode signal. See here you have kept the differential is 1 volt. Common mode signal is also 1 volt. So input you have kept same, and you are measuring the output. This output is due to common mode. So common mode gain is output upon common mode signal. So you calculate AD, you calculate AC. So you can find CMRR is equal to AD by AC. In this way you can find the CMRR. For a given op-amp, CMR is 55 dB, and differential gain is 1200. Find the value of common mode gain and CMRR. Find AC and CMRR. It's very simple. CMRR is 20 log CMRR, 20 log AD minus 20 log AC. This is 55 dB. 20 log, this is your 1200 they have given, minus 20 log AC. So 20 log AC is equal to 20 into 3.08 minus 55. So I can write 61.6 minus 55. 6.6 log AC. If you do the calculation, you will get 2.14. Means you do the anti-log, you know this what to find. CMRR is equal to AD by AC. This is your 1200 upon 2.14. You will get 560. This is the way you can calculate. Listen, for a given op-amp, CMRR is 55 dB, AD is given, find AC and CMRR. What is CMRR? 20 log CMRR. So I get 20 log AD minus 20 log AC. Those who do not understand, for them I can write 20 log AD by AC. Now this is a 55 dB, this is a 1200, this so I have taken here, this is taken here, this is 3.08, 61.6. So you can find this anti-log of this, so you can do the work. For your more details, I can write log AC is 6.6 by 20. So it is your 0.33. So you can find the anti-lock. So by this way, this is your ACO calculate CMRR is AD by AC. So you can do this. It's very simple. For a given op-amp, differential gain is 1200, common mode gain is 2.14, V1 you are giving the 1.5 millivolt, V2 you are giving 1.3 millivolt. Find output answer. We know that VO is ADVD plus ACVC. What is the differential gain? 1200. What is differential input? V1 minus V2. Second I 1.5 minus 1.3. 0.2 millivolt. 0.2 into 10 raised to minus 3 plus what is common mode? V1 plus V2 by 2. So it is 1.5 plus 1.3 by 2. So I will get 2.8 by 2. 2.8 by 2 means 1.4 millivolt. So this is your 2.14 multiplied by 1.4. So this is your 0.24 volt. This is nearly about 3 millivolt. 3 into 10 raised to minus 3 volt. 1.4 into 10 raised to minus 3. This is 0.2 into 10 raised to minus 3. So your output voltage is 0.24 volt due to differential gain, and this is 3 millivolt for the common mode gain. So this is called error is very less. This error is very less, or I can write my output voltage, the output voltage for this set of the input voltage is 0.243, in which this is due to the only differential voltage and this is due to the common mode voltage. This is called error. The error is very less. Now it is not necessary error is always less due to common mode signal. We will see the another numerical. For a given op-amp, V1 is 5.0002 volt and V2 is 5.000 volt. AD is 1200, AC is 2.14. Find the output voltage. Answer: VO is equal to ADVD plus ACVC. So your VD is V1 minus V2. So 0.0002 volt. VC is V1 plus V2 by 2. 5.0001 volt. So my output voltage of this amplifier is 1200 into 0.0002 plus 2.14 into 5.0001. If you do this calculation, you will get 0.24, and this calculation 10.7 volt. You can see here, this is your error term. This is your error term. Due to error term, you are getting error is too large, 10.7. Actually, your output should be only 0.24. But due to the common mode signal, you are getting this much error at the output. This is your error is too much. In a previous problem, error is very less. So in this problem, error is very large. So we have only one solution. If you want to reduce this error, then CMRR should be very high. If CMR is very large, then this error term will not be introduced. It is very less. Look here in this problem what I did. I have to calculate VO for this input voltage. So what the output equation? I have to calculate output voltage for this input voltage. VO is AD VD plus AC VC. If VD you know, VC you know, I put the value. So due to differential input signal, your output is 0.24 volt. Due to common mode signal, output is 10.7 volt. Actually your meter should read only 0.24. But due to common mode signal, it reads the 10.79. So this much is 10.94. So error is you are getting too much large. Your output reading of the output meter is 10.94. Actually it should show the 0.24. So this much is error due to common mode signal. We want to reduce this error. And in next problem we will see if you keep the CMRR is very large, then such error will be reduced. The two numerical shows you due to common mode signal error is developed. For this set of the input signal error is very less. For this set of the input signal error is very large. Let us discuss one small topic about closed loop output impedance. See, this is your open loop operation. I think you must be knowing this is your open loop operation. No feedback is used here. This is your open loop operation. No feedback is there. No feedback is there. This is called open loop. This open loop operation as a output impedance is given by ZOOL. This is called closed loop operation. You have given some part of the output to the input through some feedback component. So this as a output impedance is ZOCL. This is your ground line. So in a closed loop output impedance, is reduced, and you can calculate output impedance for a closed loop operation by this equation. The closed loop output impedance is given by open loop output impedance upon loop gain. Now, loop gain you can calculate by this equation. Loop gain is nothing but the open loop gain in dB minus closed loop gain in dB. So by using this equation, you can calculate the closed loop output impedance, and you can see that closed loop output impedance is less compared to open loop output impedance. So if it is possible, remember this equation. Now let us do the small numerical based on this equation. See the question. Calculate closed loop output impedance. Calculate ZOCL for the op-amp, and they have given ZOOL, they have given 5 kilo ohm, 5 into 10 raised to 3 ohm. Feedback component they have given 100 kilo ohm and R1 they have given 10 kilo ohm. Now, what the equation ZOCL is ZOOL upon loop gain. Let us calculate first loop gain. Loop gain in dB is equal to open loop gain in dB minus closed loop gain in dB. This is they have given 80 dB. In dB you have to calculate 20 log feedback resistor upon input resistance. This closed loop gain 80 dB minus 20 log R0 100 kilo ohm, R1 10 kilo ohm. So you get 80 minus 20 dB, so it is your 60 dB. Now here this value I have to put, but loop gain I have to put. I am not supposed to put this value in dB. So loop gain in dB they have written, we have calculated 60 dB. So 20 log loop gain is equal to 60 log loop gain is equal to 3. So loop gain is equal to NT log, this is your 3. So it is your 10 raised to 3. Now your equation ZOCL ZOOL upon loop gain this is they have given 5 kilo ohm and loop gain they have given, we have done the calculation. Loop gain is 10 raised to, we calculate the loop gain, so 10 loop gain is 10 raised to 3, so your answer is 5 ohm. In this way you can calculate the closed loop output impedance. This numerical show that in a closed loop operation output impedance is reduced. Now let us see another numerical. We show that importance of the CMRR. See, with the help of this numerical, you will understand if the value of CMRR will be large, then error voltage will be very less. So, let us see what questions. Calculate the output voltage of the op-amp having a CMRR is 100. For these two set of the input voltage, you are giving the input voltage V1 and V2 50 microvolt minus 50 microvolt. Calculate the output voltage. For the second set, you have given the input is 1050 microvolt, V2 is 950 microvolt. For this input, calculate the output voltage. Then also calculate percentage difference in the output voltage for these two set of the input voltage. If this is the input, what is the output? If this is the input, find the output and see how much they are differ in a percentage. And repeat the same numerical by taking CMRR is 10⁴. Let us start the solution. Let us calculate for set number 1 output voltage. Set 1 input voltage given is 50 microvolt and second is minus 50 microvolt. Calculate output. We know VO is equal to AdVd 1 plus 1 upon rho Vc by Vd. You know this equation. So in this, let us put the value. You know, they have not given AD. Remember, they have not given AD. So what is Vd? V1 minus V2. It is 100 microvolt. What is Vc? V1 plus V2 by 2. So you can see it is 0. So VO is nothing but the AD into 100, 1 plus rho they have given here 100, 1 upon 100 into 0 upon 100. So I can write 100 AD and my unit is in microvolt. So for this set of the input voltage, my output voltage is 100 AD microvolt. Now let us do the calculation for second set. For set 2, V1 is they have given 1015, they have given 1050 microvolt, V2 they have given 950 microvolt. We know this equation, AdVd into 1 plus 1 by rho Vc by Vd. What is, you know, this Vd is nothing but the V1 minus V2. Again I can write 100 microvolt. You take the difference of this. What the Vc? V1 plus V2 by 2. So V1 plus Vc2 by is what? 1000 microvolt. So I am putting this value in a equation. VO is equal to AD into 100, 1 plus 1 upon 100, Vc we have calculated 1000, Vd is 100, so this is 100 AD, 1 plus, you can see this is your cancel, this 3 is cancelled with this, 0.1, I get your 110 AD microvolt. If this is the input voltage, your output is 100 AD microvolt. If this is the input voltage, then output is 110 AD microvolt. So the first question is okay. Calculate the output voltage. Now second, also calculate the percentage difference in the output voltage. How much they differ? See, for one set they are getting 100 AD, for second set they are getting 110 AD. It means percentage difference for two set of input when rho is 100 is only 10%. How much? Only 10%. Okay. Now Repeat above part if CMRR is 10 raised to 4. So let us do same part if CMRR is 10 raised to 4. For set 1, V1 is 50 microvolt, V2 is minus 50 microvolt, so VD is 100 microvolt, VC is 0, rho is 10 raised to 4, VO is AdVd 1 plus 1 upon rho Vc by Vd. So this is 100 AD, 1 plus this is 0. So because this is 0, so I am getting this. This is 0, so I am writing like this. Now, let us calculate output voltage for another set. V1 is 1050 microvolt, V2 is 950 microvolt. So VO you know, here rho they have given 10 raised to 4. So VO is nothing but the AdVd 1 plus 1 upon rho Vc by Vd. Rho is 10 raised to 4. This is 100 into AD. AD is not given. 1 plus. This is 10 raised to 4. Vc is how much? What is the Vc? Vc let us calculate. It is V1 plus V2 by 2. So 1050 plus 950 by 2. So it is 1000. So 1000 microvolt upon Vd. Vd is nothing but the V1 minus V2. So it is your 100 microvolt. So this is 100 microvolt. So this is 100 AD. 1 plus this is cancel. So I can write 0.001. So I can write 100.1 into AD microvolt output. Look here. This VO is 100 AD microvolt for this set of the input voltage. VO is 100.1 AD microvolt for this set of the input voltage. So first part is over. Now second question. In the first part they are asking you calculate the output voltage. In the second part they are asking you what the percentage difference. So you can see the percentage difference for two set of the input for rho is equal to 10 raised to 4 is only 0.1%. You know how to find the percentage. This minus this upon 100 into 100. So you can do this. So 0.1%. So what the conclusion? If rho is 100, what the difference in output voltage? 10%. If rho is 10 raised to 4, what the difference? Only 0.1%. If the op-amp has a very large value of the CMRR, then for any set of the input voltage, error voltage is reduced, or you can say error voltage will be minimum. So this numerical shows that if rho is large, then percentage difference for a two different set of the input is very less. Actually, this should be your output. For any input, this should be your output. But using that, for this set of the input voltage, you are getting only different is how much? 0.1%. So, this numerical show that if the CMRR is large, then for any set of the input voltage, your output is near to the proportional to the only difference of the input signal. I think you understand this numerical. Very simple, no need to repeat again. It's very simple. For this set of the input voltage, I have used this equation. I put all the value. For this set of the input, I use this equation, calculate the VO. Here VO you should get only ADVD. This should be minimum. Okay. So, but rho is very less here in this set I have taken only 100. So here error is 10%. Means if this actually what should be your output? Be 100 AD hona chahiye. It should be 100 AD. Here also because VD is nothing but the 100. So your output should be 100 AD. But due to this common mode signal, you are getting a 10% higher to the actual one. The second part show that if I take rho is very large, 10:4, then error will be very less. I think you understand. Let us see the one numerical for a given differential amplifier. For a given differential amplifier using ideal op-amp, this is a differential amplifier I am showing you. This is given to you. This is R dash, this is R1, this is R2. For a given differential amplifier, first question, find the value of output voltage. Find the value of output voltage. Second question, if R dash upon R is equal to R2 by R1, then show that is common mode signal. The value of common mode signal is 0. If R dash upon R is equal to R2 by R1, then common mode signal is 0. Also find output voltage in this case. Let us solve this numerical answer. See, we have to find the output voltage for this circuit. So, using a superposition principle, we can say that output voltage is given by A1V plus A2 V2. Voltage at this point I am writing V plus. So V plus is your R2 into V1 upon R1 plus R2. Already know the potential divider network. This is your R1, this is your V1, and this is your R2, this is your V plus voltage at this point, this is your ground terminal. So here voltage V plus I can say applied voltage into R2 upon R1 plus R2. You already knowing this your potential divider circuit equations. So it's very easy for you. See, using the superposition principle we can write, already we have used this superposition principle, we can right? A1 into V1 plus A2 into V2. Here, instead of V1, I use a V plus sign. Say using the superposition principle, we can write V0 output voltage A1 V1 plus A2 V2. Here V1 voltage here at the input terminal of the non-inverting is V plus, we have to write, that's why I am writing V plus. So my equation is A1 V plus A2 V2. So we know the value of when V2 is grounded, then gain of the amplifier is 1 plus R dash by R1, R dash by R. Now when V1 is grounded, then gain of the amplifier is minus R dash by R. For your detailed understanding, when this is grounded, then it is your non-inverting amplifier. Only this is there, this is grounded. So only non-inverting amplifier. So for a non-inverting amplifier, this is the gain of the amplifier circuit. When this is grounded, okay, means this is grounded, your only is inverting amplifier. When this is grounded, your circuit behaves inverting amplifier, then gain of the circuit is minus R dash by R. So I am putting this value here. The output voltage for a given circuit, is 1 plus R dash by R into V plus already we have written, R2 upon R1 plus R2 into V2 into V1. This is A2 is minus R2 minus A2 is minus R dash by R. So my equation is 1 plus R dash by R, that is gain A1. V plus is the voltage at the non-inverting terminal is V1 into R2 upon R1 plus R2, and for A2 is minus R dash by R, this is a gain of the inverting amplifier, this is the input signal that I have written. Now already we have seen, if you remember, we have seen common mode signal is given by V1 plus V2 by 2 and differential signal is given by V1 minus V2. We have already discussed. So we can write 2 VCM is equal to V1 plus V2 and differential signal is given by V1 minus V2. From these two equations we can write V1 is equal to VCM plus VD by 2 and V2 is equal to, if you do the addition, then you get, if you do the subtraction, then you can find V2, VC minus VD by 2. I am putting these two values in this equation. I am putting this value in this equation. So output voltage is given by, this is R plus R dash upon R into R2 upon R1 plus R2. V1 is nothing but the VCM plus VD by 2 minus R dash by R. V2 is nothing but the VCM minus VD by 2. From this I can write R plus R dash into R2 upon R1 plus R2 upon R minus R dash by R into VCM. this is your plus R plus R dash upon R into R2 upon R1 plus R2 plus R dash by R into Vd by 2. See, this value I have kept here. Instead of V1 I have written VCM plus Vd by 2. V2 I have written VCM minus Vd by 2. Now I have taken VCM common. See, VCM is common from this term and here VCM. So what is left? R plus R dash by R into R2 upon R1 plus R2 minus R dash by R. Then I have taken Vd by 2 is common. So this term minus minus plus this term will be left. So this is your first answer, you can say. This is your first answer. This is your first answer. What is the first question? Find the output voltage for given circuit. Now second question. Answer second. If R dash by R is equal to R2 by R1, then so VCM is equal to 0. Very simple. R dash by R plus 1 is equal to, I can write R2 by R1. R2 by R1 plus 1. So R dash plus R upon R is equal to R2 plus R1 upon R1. These values I am keeping here. So output voltage is R2 plus R1 upon R1 into R2 upon R1 plus R2 minus R dash by R into VCM plus this is your R2 plus R1 upon R into R2 upon R1 plus R2 plus R dash by R into Vd by 2. Look carefully. This is they have given. R dash by R is equal to R2 by R1 they have given. So I added 1 on both the sides. Then I simplify. So what this shows, R dash plus R upon R is equal to R2 by R1 upon R1. So instead of this, what I have written? R2 plus R1 upon R. See, here I have written. This is also I have kept here. This value is also I have kept here. So this value is kept here. So what is this value? It is nothing but the R2 plus R1 upon, you can say, R1. So now what will happen? Now you can see, yes, this is cancelled, this is cancelled. Now what is R2 by R1? What is left? R2 by, but R2 by R1 is R dash by R. So I am using this, look here, this. I will keep my output voltage is R dash by R minus R dash by R into VCM. Look here, this is R2 by R1. It is nothing but what should I write? I should write it is your R dash by R plus R dash by R into Vd by 2. So this is 0 plus 2R dash by R into Vd by 2. So I can write R dash by R into Vd, or this equation can be written as R2 by R1 into Vd also. Reason is that R dash by R is what? R2 by R1. So R dash by R is R2 by R1, so I can write like this. So if this is given, then you can show VCM is 0, VCM 0, Look here, common mode signal 0 हो गया. If this is the condition, then this have to show 0. So you can see the common mode term is getting 0. You are getting common mode term getting 0. If R dash by R is equal to R2 by R1, this is what 0 you can see. I think you understand this discussion. Let me repeat here, those who are in a little bit problem, for them I am discussing. See, this circuit they have given. They have given this circuit. They are asking you to find the output voltage. Output voltage you can write VO is equal to A1 V plus, instead of V1 what I have written? Voltage at this. If this is not there, if I am not connecting there, if it is not there, so what is my equation? A1 V1 plus A2 V2. But due to this connection, what is my voltage I should write? A1 V plus A2 V2. So I have calculated V plus, say V plus I have calculated by this, already know that. So that value I have kept here, V plus here. What is A1? Gain of the non-inverting amplifier. This is given the non-inverting terminal. What is the gain of the non-inverting amplifier? 1 plus R dash by R. So that I have kept here. A2. What is A2? Gain of the inverting amplifier. When this is grounded, then your this circuit BO is a inverting amplifier. So your gain of the inverting amplifier is R dash by R minus R dash by R, that I have written. Now we know this. VC is equal to V1 plus V2 by 2 and VD is equal to V1 minus V2. So common mode signal is V1 plus V2 by 2. Differential signal is V1 minus V2. From these two, I have calculated the value of V1, V2. Put this V1 and V2 in this equation. So I am keeping the value of V1 and V2 here. As I am keeping the value of V1, V2, I am getting this. Simplify, only simplification you need. Nothing else. Simply only put the value and then you bring the VCM common, and from this two you have taken VD by 2 is common, you will get this equation. Now, so this is the first question, find the output voltage, and this is your answer of the output voltage. Second question, when R dash by R is equal to R2 by R1, so that VCM is 0. So I added both the side 1. Then I have kept R dash plus R upon R is nothing but R2 by R1 upon R1 in this, here and here also. So if you keep here R2 by R1 upon R1, R2 by R1 R1, so you can see this is cancelled. This is cancelled. Only R2 by R1 is left. But what is R2 by R1? R2 by R1 is nothing but R dash by R. So this term is 0. Here R dash by R. So my answer for the, look here, what I did. Here R dash by R upon R2 by R. So I added 1 here. So I will get R dash plus R upon R is equal to R2 plus R1 upon R1. So that value I have kept in this equation. Look here, this value I have kept here, this value I have kept here. So as a result, this is cancelled, you can see here. As this is cancelled, then I use this property. So instead of R2 by R1, what I did, instead of R2 by R1, I put R dash by R. I put here R dash by R. As you give the R2 by R1 is R dash by R, then this your common term will get in 0. This is like this. So you can get the output voltage. I think you understand this. Ideal op-amp always responds equally to the DC and AC voltages, but in practice it does not behave like in this way. you are getting some output voltage. DC output voltage is obtained at the op amp even though both the inputs are grounded, and the AC behavior depends upon the frequency of the operation. See, for ideal op amp, both the input does not draw any current, and this characteristics does not change with the temperature also. But in practice, it draw some current from the source, and its characteristics change with the temperature. Both the input does not respond equally to the voltage and current. So there are some DC characteristics of the op amp which are responsible to introduce the error in the output, and that we have to say some non-ideal DC characteristics and AC characteristics are responsible to produce the error at the output. So such non-ideal DC characteristics of the op amp which are responsible to produce the error at the output, these non-ideal op amp DC characteristics are input bias current, second input offset voltage, input offset current, third input offset voltage, fourth and thermal drift. These are the responsible to add some error at the output. We'll discuss how the error is minimized due to input bias current, that is known as a compensation technique. We'll also see what kind of the changes you have to do in a circuit as a result error produced due to input offset current and input offset voltage, and thermal drift will be minimized. So in this lecture we are discussing some DC characteristics of the non-ideal op amp which are responsible to introduce the error at the output, and also we will see the compensation technique to reduce the error due to such kind of the DC characteristics. Listen again. Generally we are discussing about ideal operational amplifier, and you know that ideal operational amplifier respond equally to both AC and DC voltages. But in practice it does not behave like this. It does not behave in this manner. Some DC voltage is obtained at the output of the op amp even though both the input of the op amp are grounded. Listen, some DC voltage is obtained at the output of the op amp even though both the input of the op amp are grounded. The AC behavior of the operational amplifier depends upon the frequency. Both the input of the op amp, ideal op amp, does not draw any current, and its characteristics does not change with the temperature. In practice it is not like this. Both the input draw some current from the source, and it is changing with the temperature. Due to such kind of the behavior of the op amp, some error is introduced at the output. Which kind of the technique you will utilize as a result? The error produced due to input bias current is reduced. That we will discuss in this topic. The operational input terminal are differential amplifier. This differential amplifier either made up from bipolar junction transistor or field effect transistors. In both the case, some bias current is required for the transistor. In both the case, the transistors are require some bias current to operate in a linear region, and this bias current is provided by some external circuit. For an ideal op amp, the input of the op-amp does not draw any current, but it do conduct for a small value of the current to bias the transistor. Practically, both the transistors do conduct to provide some necessary value of the bias current. The current entering into the both inverting and non-inverting terminal is called input bias current. Generally it is not equal, but for this discussion at the last I will take equal, remember, to get some derivations. Generally it is not equal. Bias current entering into the inverting terminal is given by the symbol IB minus, and bias current entering into the non-inverting terminal is given by IB plus. Generally, manufacturers give the average value of the bias current, and average value of the bias current is IB, and it is given by IB minus plus IB plus by 2. Listen again. The operational amplifier input is the differential amplifier, and this differential amplifier may be made up from either bipolar junction transistor or field effect transistors. These transistors input are biased by some current to operate in a linear region, and it is provided from some external circuit. Ideal differential amplifier, ideal op-amp input terminal do not conduct. It does not draw any current. Practically, the input terminal of the op-amp do conduct some small value of the DC current to bias the transistors, and the current entering into the two input terminal of the op-amp, that is inverting and non-inverting terminal, are known as a bias current IB minus for inverting terminal and IB plus for non-inverting terminal. Manufacturers give the average value of this current, that is called bias current IB. This is not equal due to some mismatch at the input transistor. This IB minus 1 IB plus are not equal due to some mismatch in at the input of the transistor. See the circuit here I am showing you that show the input bias current IB minus, IB plus, and this is the output voltage. Just for your information, if at the input terminals there is a bipolar junction transistor, then the bias current is of the order of 500 nanoampere or less at room temperature. At which temperature? Room temperature. If the field effect transistors are used at the input terminal of the op-amp, then input bias current is of the order of picoampere or less at room temperature. Consider the basic inverting amplifier circuit as shown in figures. This is your basic inverting amplifier circuit, and for this circuit I am giving the input signal is 0. Your expectation is output should be also 0. Here I am showing you input bias current IB minus 1. This is for non-inverting IB plus, and here input current is 0. Reason is that your VI is 0. So you should get VO should be 0. But in practice you are not getting VO is equal to 0. You are getting VO is nothing but the minus, VO is nothing but the you are getting, but in practice you are getting VO is equal to IB minus into RF. for a bipolar junction transistors op-amp. Bipolar junction transistor op-amp means at this point here bipolar junction transistor is used. Here bipolar junction transistor is used. If I say it is a FET op-amp, FET, FET op-amp, so here field effect transistors are used. Here field effect transistors are used in a differential amplifier. But if I say it is a bipolar junction transistor is used, then your value of this current is of the order of 500 nanoampere, and if I take RF is 1 mega ohm, then look here, this is 500 nanoampere into 1 mega ohm. So you will get 500 into 10 raised to minus 3 volt, or you will get 500 millivolt produced at the output even though input is 0. It means you are getting 500 millivolt at the output even though input is 0. So this is called error. This error is not acceptable when you are measuring the signal of the order of millivolt here. If you are measuring the signal here of the order of millivolt, then this error is produced at the output is not acceptable. Listen, if you are measuring the signal of the order of millivolt for the operational amplifier, then error produced at the output due to bias current is of the order of 500 millivolt is not acceptable. So somehow we have to reduce this error, or we'll use some compensation technique which reduce the error. To reduce the error, we'll use a compensation technique. In this technique, remember, in this technique, here R compensated resistor is added between the non-inverting terminal and ground. R compensated resistance means R compensated resistance is added between non-inverting terminal and ground, that I am showing you in another circuit. This is the circuit in which the error is minimized by introducing R compensated resistor between non-inverting terminal and ground terminal. Here I am showing you, this is your feedback resistors RF, R1, this current is IB minus, this current is IB plus, this output voltage. Due to this current, this terminal is plus, this terminal B is a minus, as a result V1 voltage is developed here. Due to this current is going like this terminal is plus, with respect to this, current will flow like this, so voltage is developed. You introduce the R compensated resistor between non-inverting terminal and ground to reduce this error. So I have to find the value of R compensated, how much this should be connected to reduce the effect of the bias current, DC input bias current. Listen now. We know that this voltage is 0, so this is also here minus, this your plus, so current will flow like this, I1, and from here current will flow like this, I2, and some voltage is developed across V2. This voltage is 0 here between these two, approximately 0. So if I apply the Kirchhoff law to this section, look here, only this one section. Here VO is with respect to ground, if you don't understand. So look here, I am applying the KCL from here, and this is my path, this is my path, this is the path. Look here carefully, this is the path I am taking. You are going from plus to minus sign, while you are going from positive to negative sign, your output, your equation, you will write minus V1. You are going from plus to minus, minus V1. From this point to this, 0. From this to this, minus V1. Here to here, 0. From this point to this point, you see here, current is coming in this direction. So, if current flows, you are going from minus to positive. You are going from minus to positive. This is a negative, this is a negative, negative. So, here I say like plus, minus. So, listen again. From ground to this side, this minus V1, potential decreases, 0. Here potential increases, so I should write plus V2. Now, from here you are going to ground. From positive you are going to ground. Your potential decreases, minus Vu is 0. So, equation of output voltage is V2 minus V1. This is minus, this is 0, this is plus, this is minus. So, I have written like this. I think you understand this. By introducing the compensated resistor between non-inverting terminal and ground, voltage is developed across R compensated resistors. By selecting the proper value of R compensated resistors, V2 can be cancelled with V1 and output voltage VO should be made 0 or it is reduced. As a result, error produced due to the bias current is reduced. Let us see how derive the value of I R compensated. I told you generally IB minus and IB plus are not equal, but to derive the value of R compensated I am taking equal. Remember, I am taking IB minus is nearly equal to IB plus. So, it is IB minus is nothing but the I1 plus I can write I2 is equal to IB plus. See all the derivation. IB plus I can write V1 upon R compensated. I1 I can write V1 upon R1. I2 I can write V2 upon RF. It's very simple. See, due to this terminal is same. See, I have written here. Potential is 0. So this volt potential and this potential is same. As a result, voltage across this is nothing but the V1 I should write. This potential is same. So I have written here V1. So you can write V1. So it is your V1 by R1 plus V2 by RF is equal to V1 by R compensated. Now I want to get VO tends to 0. I want VO tends to 0. For compensation technique, you are compensating this. So once you are compensating, then for compensating technique, VO should be 0. For compensating, output should be 0. That is, V2 minus V1 is 0. So V2 is equal to V1. So this equation can be written by V1 plus R1, V1 by RF and V1 by R compensated. See, you want to compensate this voltage. So how you have done? What is the way you have done? You have introduced this. And you are selecting such a value of this, V1 is developed. And what is your willingness? V1 should be nearly equal to V2. Then this will be 0. So for compensating technique, output should be 0, means V2 minus V1 is 0, means V2 is equal to V1. So these I am using here. As a result, I am getting 1 upon R compensated is nothing but 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon RF. R1 plus 1 upon RF. So listen carefully this discussion so that R compensated is nothing but the R1 into Rf upon R1 plus Rf. In short, it is R1 parallel Rf. Remember this equation. Now you can use this inverting amplifier. By introducing this value, you can use inverting amplifier. See, just I am discussing for your more understanding. This is your inverting amplifier. RF is 100K. This is your 10K. This is your VI. This is your ground. This is your VU. Now, due to bias current, some error is produced at the output. I want to reduce this error. I want to compensate. So what I will do? I will do like this. Look, this circuit I can prepare like this. This circuit. 10K R1. This is your input. This is your RF. How much? 100K. Here I will connect which value? R compensated. This is a VU. This is your VI. Is ground. So what should be the value of R compensated? It is R1 parallel RF. It is 10K parallel 100K. So I can write R compensated is equal to 10 into 100 upon 110. So it is cancel. This is your 100 upon 11. So I can write 9.09 kilo ohm. So here if I connect 9.09 kilo ohm, my error is reduced. In this way you use your compensated resistance in this inverting amplifier. Now inverting amplifier no need to connect like this. If you want to reduce the error, then you have to modify your amplifier, inverting amplifier like this, in which you have to use R compensated resistor here. And that value is how much? R1 parallel RF. This is you decided. Sir, I want a gain of 10. So I have taken this is 10 and 100. You know gain is RF by R1. RF by R1 is how much? It is called gain. So you want gain is how much? 10. So RF by R1 is your 100 upon 10. So it is 10. So if you introducing like this, error will be minimized in your inverting amplifier. So how to reduce the error in a non-inverting amplifier? For a non-inverting amplifier, you have to connect the R compensated resistor by this way. Here you connect first R compensated, then you give your input signal. Then you give your input signal. So this is the circuit diagram of a non-inverting amplifier to reduce the error due to DC input bias current, and you reduce the error by introducing R compensated resistors in a non-inverting terminal for a non-inverting amplifier. Whenever you want to use your non-inverting amplifier, you have to connect here R compensated resistors, and it is a parallel combination of the resistors RF and R1. If you want to use your inverting amplifier, then do not use this. If you use this, you will get some error due to input bias current. Or do not use this. Do not use this circuit for inverting amplifier. If you use this circuit, you will get some error. But if you use the compensated resistor like this, error will be minimized due to input bias current, or you can say input bias current is compensated by adding this R comp. Similarly, if you use this in inverting amplifier, you will get some error due to your bias current. So whenever you want to use the inverting amplifier, use this circuit. With this circuit, the effect of the input bias current is compensated. I think you understand how to compensate the effect of the bias current. Here is the end of the lecture. I think you understand what we did. First we have discussed the bias current is responsible to produce the error at the output voltage, means input is 0 even though you are getting output due to bias current, and that output voltage is of the order of millivolt. This is objectionable when you are dealing with the signal having a millivolt. Therefore we have to make output 0 when input is 0. So that we have done with the help of our compensated resistors, and the value of our compensation we have derived. In the next lecture we will see when due to input offset current the error is produced, and that error will be minimized by some another technique. Here is the end of the lecture.